My name is Nicole. I got PCOS and it makes me a man. Losing weight, it's not just a physical thing. It's here and it's here. Fight through it. You can do it. Don't give up. Okay, so friends, we often get tons of people saying that they have PCOS and really worried. They were just diagnosed and they're just starting to see symptoms, and they're really nervous that the extra testosterone that polycystic ovary syndrome gives you is going to make you manly or really masculine looking, and they're really nervous about it. And when I first got diagnosed, I was getting all these weird symptoms, and when I heard that it gives you a lot of testosterone or extra testosterone, I was really nervous too. And I was afraid of getting stinky like a guy and having a super hairy body and like all these weird things that you think when you're diagnosed and you don't really know a whole lot about PCOS. Yes, it messes with your menstrual cycle. The severity of it ranges. Some women don't have any symptoms at all. Some women have a ton of symptoms. Yes, it does give you extra testosterone, but does it turn you into a man or does it make you look manly? No. I had it really, really bad when I was almost 300 pounds. I had a ton of hair where I didn't want it, and I was losing the hair where I wanted it, which was my head. I had a feeling that I had it, and I actually had to fight my doctors to get tested because they really kept telling me, you don't have it, you don't have it. But I went a full year without having a period. I was getting all these dark patches of skin in my armpits, under my breasts, in my groin area. I was getting a lot of excess body hair, and I was losing a lot of hair off of my head, and those are all major symptoms. So finally, I convinced the doctors to test me, and they called me back in immediately after the test, and they said, you were right, you have cysts all over your ovaries, and you have polycystic ovaries or PCOS. So trust yourself and go get checked, and know that you can have it and not have symptoms. So you might not even know, but you can have major symptoms or minor symptoms. So just trust yourself, and if you feel like something's off, fight for a test. Then educate yourself. I read everything I could, and the one thing that kept coming up was losing weight would minimize the symptoms. I've lost 130 pounds, and it has minimized the symptoms. I no longer get the dark patches of skin, and I don't lose my hair unless I have a menstrual cycle. Then I lose a lot of hair. But before, I was losing it every time that I brushed my hair. I was coming away with handfuls of hair. Now, I come away with handfuls only during my menstrual cycle. I do not get a cycle without being on birth control. So some of you might not have to do this. Some of you might not be, at where I am, but this is what my body does. I also do get, in the hot months, I get a lot sweatier, I notice, and a lot, like my armpits get sticky, and girl deodorant doesn't do anything anymore. I have to shave every day, my legs, armpits, hands, feet, because by the end of the day, I have stubble again. So my body hair does grow quite quickly, but also the biggest thing was, because I don't get a menstrual cycle without a birth control, I obviously can't have children unless I go through like the fertility stuff, which I chose not to do. But that, which I'm sure a lot of you who have PCOS and are watching this right now could relate, it kind of makes you feel a little like a failure, because that's one thing that females are supposed to do. They're supposed to have babies, and I can't without man-made medication or man-made fertility drugs. And so I'm sure some of you out there can relate to that. Did it make me feel a little bit sad and a little bit like weird, like a little less of a woman? A little bit. But then I realized if I didn't have it and if I didn't go through all of that stuff, then I couldn't be here talking to you and guiding you through it and saying that it doesn't take away your femininity. I am still me. I am still a girly girl. I'm a girly girl that has to shave every day. And I'm a girly girl that has to wear man deodorant in the summer because it's the only thing that works. But it doesn't take away who you are. Just because, you know, and there are a lot of women with PCOS who have had healthy children without medication. But just because you need medication doesn't make you any less of a woman, and just know that. It might feel like that, and I think those are normal emotions for someone to go through with PCOS, but you are not any less of a woman. You are an amazing person. You are still you. You are still feminine. You are still who you are, even with it. And no, there's no cure. You can lessen your symptoms if you lose weight, but they're still always going to be there. What you do is you learn how to deal with it. Before I give you some tips of what I learned, I do want to go over the one thing that is super, that I take all my negative stuff and I turn it into a positive, because yes, PCOS gives me a lot of things I really could do without. I can't empty my bladder properly during my menstrual cycle. If Kyle and I have decided to go on a cut and I'm losing weight, I get a menstrual cycle every 2 weeks. There are a lot of things that I don't appreciate about my PCOS, but the one thing is that I now take and use it is it does give you extra testosterone. Does it suck? Yes, but at the same time, I think now, if I didn't have that extra testosterone, could I build muscle as quickly and easily as I do? Could, you know, might be really difficult for me. I might have to eat a whole lot more, which my body couldn't tolerate, or, you know, might not be able to get muscles like this without special vitamins, but I can do this naturally because my body naturally produces more testosterone. Women with extra testosterone and PCOS say, now I'm really scared to build muscle and lift weights because I'm going to look more manly. I have facial hair, I have all this extra testosterone. I don't want to look like a man. But I'll show you, this is my physique. I lift weights and I have PCOS, and I wouldn't put myself at a super severe, but I wouldn't put myself at a very low one either. I'd put myself in the middle. I do have lots of testosterone, I feel like I do. And it doesn't. Lifting weights has made me actually smaller and more compact and more shapely. So don't be scared, ladies, because the more muscle that you have, the less fat you have. So yes, PCOS does make you hold on to your belly fat. It makes it very hard to get rid of it. And I do have some body fat on my belly that I don't think I'll be able to get rid of completely because of the PCOS, but everywhere else, I'm really lean, and I think it's because of the muscle that I have. So don't be afraid to gain muscle. Don't be afraid to build muscle and lift weights. It's not gonna make you look like a man, even if you have more testosterone. It's gonna make you look more feminine, more toned, more shapely. My arms are super toned. I feel really confident in a sundress. I feel feminine with the muscles that I've built because I feel like it has given me a shape. I've always been a very thick girl, but no shape. And now I feel like I have womanly curves instead of just a blob. Don't let it scare you away from lifting weights. Lifting weights is the best thing that I've ever done for my body and my PCOS. And it helps me turn a negative testosterone into a positive, hello. So now I would just give you a couple of tips, like the one I shared with you earlier. In the summer, I can't use female deodorant anymore. It's not strong enough. So Kyle helped me figure out, thank you lovely husband, that man deodorant would work.
We went up and down the deodorant aisle smelling, trying to get one that wasn't too strong.
Yes.
Cologne, man cologne smell.
So I use Right Guard right now, and I use the one that says for wetness, because my, this is gross, my armpits get sticky, and I know that's because of my extra testosterone. So that one really helps. And some of the deodorants, they're really, really strong, so I try to get the ones that aren't too super strong. But now I look at it like I would rather smell like a man wearing cologne than have sweaty armpits. So I don't actually mind it anymore. Actually, I mean, I wear perfume, so you're gonna smell my perfume, not my man deodorant. And I would much rather smell like a man than a stink. Then, tip 2, don't cheap out on razors. I buy the Venus Embrace with the 3 blades, and I use them every single day. And they actually last pretty good. Like, I shave every single day with just body wash and water. I don't use shaving cream because that would dull the blade so much faster. They last about 2 weeks, one razor. So, you know, you can get a lot. And like I said, I have to pretty much shave my entire body. And wax strips. And the tip is, you get the wax strips that are made for legs and bikini because they're bigger. So you get a ton of strips for like 10 bucks. They last forever because you can cut them up. So I use them, and I have to wax about every 2 weeks. And I wax like my whole face. And I use those because you can cut them up and shape them to your face. So that's another tip. Get the leg and bikini wax strips. And you just do it yourself. Just 1, 2, 3, and take a breath and rip it off. Another tip is pay attention to certain foods and stick to whole grain, because white carbs often bloat me, so watch that. Even some whole grain things like oats, I can't eat oats very often because they bloat me. So some things will activate your PCOS and your symptoms and make you feel kind of yucky. So just pay attention to that, because sometimes it is actually your foods. Acne wise, because that's another thing that I forgot to bring up, is my acne was awful. I had the worst acne. I had it everywhere, my whole body, my backs of my arms, my legs even. That was from the extra testosterone. When I lost weight, the acne went down a little bit, but it was still really bad during my menstrual cycles. I got on a routine. I used Clinique, the strongest one, step number 3 and number 4. I used those ones. I used them every day for years, and I finally got my acne under control. And now I only get like a pimple here or there, and I now can branch out and try different facial cleansers and things. But do not cheap out on facial or skincare stuff either. Do whatever your budget allows, but try to get a really good quality skincare routine going, because that makes a huge difference. Utilize a serum that gets rid of acne scars, because I had a lot of acne scars after, and I used the Clinique one for that. So that made a huge difference. So the friends, let me know if this has helped you down below in the comments. Let us know. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your experience is with PCOS. And feel free to share any of the tips that have helped you, because other women with PCOS will be reading the comments and maybe we can help them out a bit. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Or what?
Hold up.
Manly voice. Bye guys.
Bye guys.